This is the Tech Tuesday. We are doing opportunities today. Now, really, the reason I'm doing opportunities next is it's part of the big three right now that is really going to be important for your business going forward in this different bit. So I had covered contacts previously, which I will do again. Last time we did our campaigns, and today we're going to do opportunities. And I know a lot of you think, oh, hey, opportunities is where we went ahead and we do our green sheets there and we put our compliance there, and that's true, but there's so much more to it. So anyway, moving along, we're just going to hop into it. I hope people join me so I can answer questions, but I did not want to miss the recording window for this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to hop right into it. So we have our screen here. We've logged into Command and we're doing our normal daily thing. And we want to go ahead and look at opportunities. Now it's the handshaking here. Now we don't want to shake hands, guys. Not for a couple months, but here we are. So we're going to go to opportunities, and we have a whole bunch of opportunities here that we are able to work with. And this is just a bit of Tri-Town's opportunities, just getting into it. Opportunities is really cool because, you start out, you have your listings and your buyers. There is a lease section here. We're not using that at current. And you have your whole process through here. So I'm just going to kind of go through a step at a time. So your cultivate, this is where you have people that you are cultivating. Maybe you have them on a smart plan or something like this. So we come in here, and this is what we have set up right now, our nurture. This guy actually needs to move to hot. So to do that, we click here and we drag over. And hot is, we got the different percentages here. It's the opportunities to close. And the reason he's moving to hot is I'm giving him a call today, and we're going to start to talk about his land price and all that good stuff. And anyway, so we have that in there where we can go around. We also have our edit stages. So edit stages is really awesome because you can click on that edit stage there, and it shows our nurture hot and nurture part 2 here, which I had graded for demo purpose. I'll go ahead and delete this for now. But let's say we want to go ahead and customize this so we can change whatever we want. So we're going to add stage here, and let's go ahead and add a stage of about to list is something that might go. And probability here is the probability to turn into business. Let's say 20% for now. This part is really cool. And hey, Katie, feel free to ask any questions as you have them. This part's really cool. You hit add item. This is going to create a checklist for just this stage here. So once you get someone who's about to list, let's say checklist is going to be prepare CMA. We save that. Let's say we want to go ahead and do get tax information. We add that there. Remind yourself you're awesome. And we can add this here into the checklist. Exclamation point for that. So we save that all these items, and we can create this stage. And this stage here is going to be right here, about to list. So it has a stage name. It has the position and the order, because it would go from nurture to hot to about to list. The probability of it turning into business. And then here's the checklist items that you need to do each time you're doing a transaction there. So you're able, instead of having paper checklists, you're able to go ahead and create these checklist items to have them on your thing. So let's go ahead and hop into this. So let's say my meeting goes well today. I drag him from hot to about to list, right? Well, I need to suddenly have checklist items to do. So I click here, and oh, look, I prepared a CMA. I got the tax information, and it just checks these things off my list, but keeps it in the opportunities over here. It keeps track. So when you're doing your transaction coordination, I love that dog. When you're doing your transaction coordination, you're able to go ahead and keep track of your list. So this gets really good if you have an assistant or if you have, more than one listing, you got to keep track, or if you're just a list person. So let's say, great, I moved him from about to list over to an appointment to do whatever. So the checklist here on scheduling is gone. And we don't have a checklist for this yet. We're going to go ahead and create it. But you can still click here and look at your Cultivate checklist from this other spot to complete the items you need to get done and jump back and forth. So I'm going to put him back where he goes so I don't get confused. And we can uncheck the items as well. And we can jump into the opportunity details from there. So that's moving them along the timeline there. Of course, you can fully customize these to be whatever you are. So, scheduling, scheduled, kept, under appointment. You can create something that says underwater basket weaving, whatever is correct for your business. So that's really a big deal. Now, another item, let's say there's something specific. We're coming back here. And we're in this about to list category that I created. And there's something specific that you would like to have for just this transaction. Let's say I promised Jed that I would mow down the weeds. So I click add a task, and I can add mow down the weeds, and I can save it here. And now this is on the list, but it is also only on Jed's list because I added it here at the opportunity and not in the edit stage. So I can mow down the weeds for Jed without messing with the list for whoever else comes next. So, we click that. Hey, it's done. Another great feature about this checklist, especially if you're working with another admin or teams, or maybe you're co-listing with somebody, whatever makes sense, we can go ahead and assign the tax list once it's in that pit. So we can go in there and let's say Jackie is working on this transaction and said, oh yeah, Lindy was supposed to mow down the weeds. She can assign this task to Lindy, and then she can set a due date of when that's going to be due down to the minute of the day. So we have that assigned there, and that's actually, and I'm going to have to explain it to her. Hey guys, Lily and Vitani, feel free to ask you questions, but you can be transmitted through right now. I hear you talking. Anyway, this now will have sent Lindy a notification that you have a new task to do doing her task list function. So, and again, we can check the boxes to get the list fixed, and then we can jump on over to where the other lists are. So that is a fun little thing, really a good, strong tool. Does anyone have any questions around that task list tool? Moving on then. So we've created that task list within the opportunities. And then, of course, this is where we are doing our compliance and all that fun stuff. So we've moved them along to where they are in the process. Here's a view of my active right here. My active tab and all that good stuff. So we're able to see as we move this along, this has a 70% bit here. Let's move this along to legacy as if it's going to close. And you see it updates the opportunity, and if there were new tasks, it'd be there. So something else that is really cool about the opportunities is, and let's go ahead and create an opportunity right now. This will just be for a test. So let's say we want to do a buyer opportunity. The client's going to be, see, my mom's in here. There we go. So it's going to be my mom. I'm the owner of it, and we're going to put my mom in there as a buyer, and we can put our custom tags in here just from whatever we want. So let's just say she is buying new. So we have that created. We put that in there, and we can search opportunities by buying new. Let's say she's looking to close in June 17th, time frame of 3 months. Her budget is go 375, and we're expecting probably 2.5 commission rate because she's a buyer. So here's what we're able to do. We're actually able to put her in cultivate on the nurture stage, and if we created a task list for that stage, that's going to be in there. So we create this, and this is her little card where we can add all the details when we find a property. So you can click that edit, and when we find a property, we can fill that information in here. So we're going to cancel that for now. And we go back to our pipeline. So we have her here in cultivate. And actually, Sean needs to move over to hot. So we have her, we've cultivated, we use that list function that we had before. So she moved to hot, and we're getting ready. We got all our ducks in a row. We got our buyer's agency agreement, all that stuff we need done. We move her to active, so she's an active buyer. And over here, we're searching, we're showing homes, we're doing negotiations. And once the negotiation is fixed, we can keep moving her along the stages. So it's just click and drag. And then we get her under contract. And under contract is where I'm sure most of you have worked before. This is where, you have people that are in various stages of buying. So under contract, we're going to come in on the opportunities. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to, of course, going to want to put our documents in here. We don't have any because this is a fake example. But then you pop in offers. Now, offers is really cool. If they're using the app, then you're able to use this as a way to communicate with them to provide what they need. So we're going to create an offer here. And let's go ahead and say 123 Main Street. We'll just use Middle Hills Drive. Why not? And we'll go to the parties. And it's really important that you fill out the actual information here for the people, because what we're going to end up doing is this will be transferred over to your commissions tab. So let's say I'm the seller, just for funsies. They're represented by, let's go Landon, because she's on my team. And you fill out all that great stuff, and you're going to put in the terms. So this here has confused some people recently. Cash is going to be the down payment amount that they're doing, and the finance amount is going to be what they're getting a loan. So let's say they are putting $10,000 down, and it's a $250 property, so $240,000 is what's being financed. We're getting 2.5%. There's no option fee. Termination option would be your inspection contingency. And let's say they are going to pay, or we're asking them to pay $2,000 in closing. So we put that there, and we hit agent analysis. Now we can go pros, and we could say seller paying closing cost, cons, whatever the con of the thing is, and then we can summarize offer here. Once we do all that and we save this, we're able to go ahead and add negotiation information, edit the offer, add analysis, or send offer. If you send the offer, you're going to send that to their KW app, their consumer app. They're going to be able to review the offer and then click accept or reject right there. And then that'll prompt you to be able to do the paperwork, what else you need to do. It's going to be a really nifty tool for those buyers that are tech savvy, or sellers who are also tech savvy, but maybe not wanting to talk on the phone, or they just want the analysis put there. So it's really a lot of cool use cases. But once you get that done, you accept the offer, that's going to light up your commissions tab, and you'll be able to get all of that put in here with your new commissions opportunity. So I'm going to just do a fake one and not submit it. Don't want to confuse Karina. So let's say on the contract, they were going to close on May 14th. We put that there. And then this is April 1st was my reset date. So I'm just off of the regular cap here. So right here, that's the gross commission, $6,250. number of units, and it's going to calculate my royalty. This is the up to $3,000 that goes to Keller, and then this is the company commission is the 30%, and this is not 100% up to date, but it's close. And then right here you have your KW Cares. So it's, say you give $10 to KW Cares and Bold and all that every time. You can put all that stuff right in here, and it will update it for you and deduct on your bottom. The one thing that you need to do in this, and it's not in there because not every state has it, is you need to add your B&O. So you go deduction, the amount in B&O is, I believe, 1.5% of gross. So we're gonna go in here, and your gross commission is right here. So it's gonna be the 6,250 times 0.015, 93.75. So we just add it here as a deduction, 93.75. I'm an EIN. It doesn't really matter though. And I just put description B and O in there, and I have it paid to Keller Williams Tri-Cities at 830 North Columbia Center Boulevard. And then I just toss in their phone and their email, but for expedience, I'm just gonna put that in there. And so there you have it. This is your commission. You know what you're making right away, your check amount, what that's gonna be. All your deductions are here, and you would click submit, and that would go to Karina for approval. Now, obviously, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna delete this opportunity right now, actually. And we're gonna go lost opportunity. Please describe why it was lost. So when you lose an opportunity or it doesn't close, you put it here for tracking purposes. Test case for class. So we have that there, and that's the the nuts and bolts of the opportunity there. But something else that's super useful that I really love is the ability to have a conversation. So let's go into this transaction here, and you see up here it says discussion. So when you create the opportunity, in fact, I should show you that part. When you created the opportunity, you figured out the owners, and you can also assign people to that opportunity. So in the general information, you're going to, well, sorry, it should really be done at creation. So let's just go ahead and create another one. Sorry for the confusion. So when we go in and we're creating the opportunity and all that, you see the assignees here are Brian Verhey. Well, we can add Jackie McKee here as the our admin. Let's say Landon sold a property. She's on there, and we create all of that, and that goes into what we created earlier. Well, when we're in the transaction later on, everyone who is assigned to that opportunity is able to chat here in the discussion. So this is really good. Let's say you're working on an inspection and you're chatting with your team members, or maybe Jackie, my assistant, has a question. They can type in here, hey, I had a question about, and whatever it is, and they can send it. And that's going to start a discussion here, kind of social media style, Facebook style. So then I can come in and say, hey, here is one, whatever it is, and we can reply. Well, let's say we have a question for someone who is not already in the transaction. Let's say you have a question for Ron because something came up, you need a DB. You can go at Ron. Well, he has to be in they have to be in your command, but you could just at somebody and add them to the conversation. So let's go at Corey Blake because I have her here. I need to add other people command. And then I could say, hey, can you look at whatever it is, And when I hit send, it's going to add Corey to this conversation, even though she wasn't part of it before. And the really cool thing about that is once she's added to the conversation, then she has limited access to see just the front page and stuff of the whatnot, so she can answer the question. So, this could be used to add Karina, add Ron, add whoever to the conversation. So we can collaborate, or just other people. So that's a really cool feature. And all this is to help you cultivate your people, get deals done, and then get them to close with your commission and documents intact. So that's kind of a quick run through of what we have here with the opportunities tab.